Hello, and welcome to another episode of Metal Vice, a podcast where we talk about all things music. Well, the things we care about, which is metal music and live music primarily. I'm one of your hosts, Brian, and I'm joined by my other host, Karen. What are we going to talk about today, Karen?
We're going to talk about the Trivium concert that we recently went to.
Right, the Deadmen and Dragons tour. That was on October 12th, 2022, at the Radius here in Chicago. The openers were Khemmis, Whitechapel, and Between the Buried and Me. So we had physical tickets for this, and the cool thing I like about physical tickets is like it has all this information that we just sort of outlined, like who the opener was, the date, not who the opener was, who the band was, the tour name, the date, and the price. On the ticket, the price was $35 for the ticket, and then it listed on the ticket, as they do with sometimes, right, like fees, $13.35 in tax is what it listed. It said nothing about fees. It said tax.
That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah. So it's weird. I was like, I don't know about that. So I went and found the email that we purchased them from. And we got this from AXS, was the distributor or vendor. We've gotten a few from them now. They seem like another smaller ticketing.
Yeah, I hope they don't get bought out by like Ticketmaster or Live Nation.
Yeah, and I don't know like if they're a subsidiary of one of those or how they've been acquired, like if they've been acquired or whatnot, right?
Yeah.
But there's a few of them. There's them, and there's like that Tixar one, TIXR, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Anywho, on that email we had with the confirmation, they had it more like spelled out on what the prices were. So it was $35 a ticket, like the ticket actually said. And then $5.50 in handling fee. It was really $11. When I take the fees and I do this, I take that number and divide it in half because we get two tickets.
Yeah. So we're assuming that this is per ticket.
Well, see, and that's the thing. I don't know if the handling fee is because it is a physical ticket, if it's the whole mailing process.
Oh,
so
possibly.
If it's $11, it might be $11 flat fee no matter how many you get.
Maybe.
That I don't know. So I just want to call that out also. Typically, I do that divide by half type thing. Unless it says times 2, then I just take that flat number, whatever it was. Anywho, so that one's questionable if it was $5.50 or $11, regardless. Anywho, then it was $8.97 in convenience fees, and then $4.38 in tax.
Really, that doesn't seem that bad. But when you think about it, it's still over 30%.
Right, and maybe that's where they get the $13.35, right? Is the $8.97 plus the $4.35?
Yeah, and then
that would get you. Yep, that would be it.
So we actually paid more though than that because
they didn't have the shipping. So that $11 has to be shipping for the physical tickets.
It's an envelope and a ticket.
Yeah, it's the ticket, the printing process, but you would assume that'd be the convenience fee.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's crazy to do $11 for.
Yeah. Anywho, I mean, we opted to do that, right? Like, if we have the option to buy physical tickets, we know there's going to be a surcharge, and we're fine with that. Like, we accept that because we want the physical ticket. So the $11 I don't care about. The fees really weren't that bad, right? When you think about it, $13.35 for
right.
Well, I guess it's
what I'm saying is still over 30%.
It is still pretty high. That's right. Yeah.
So I mean, it's not 40% like what Ticketmaster normally is.
Still a little better,
but it's still pretty high.
$4 in tax. I mean, that eats into it a bit. So, I mean, but that's tax in Chicago. So, I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I didn't realize it was only $35 to see the show, though. That was, I mean, I feel like it was a good good price.
Oh, for
sure.
For
the show that we saw. So.
For sure. These.
Less than $5 or $10 a band. That's awesome.
Yeah, these smaller shows like this, House of Blues is a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
I always thought Riviera and Aragon were cheaper too, but I think the last one was pretty expensive. That was Lamb of God, right?
Yeah, I don't remember what Lamb of God was. Looking it up
now. The last one was Lamb of God at Aragon, and it was $80 a ticket for that.
Oh, so double.
Right.
Yeah, over double. And the same amount of bands, because we saw 4 bands there as well.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, House of Blues is always $35-$40. So it's pretty cheap. Like these smaller venues are cheap. And I think we got tickets for the next show up there, which is In This Moment. And it was also like $35 for a ticket.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah. And I thought granted we don't have to go into the venue yet. But
No, let's do that. Let's jump into the venue.
Okay.
Let's talk about that.
So, I mean, we could talk about going in and all that stuff, but I mean, I thought it was very nice and clean and up to, like new. It looked new. I don't know when it was built or anything, but
so
it was very clean and nice and new. And
yeah. So this was our first time at this venue. We've never been here. They just opened this year, right?
See, that's what I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you can.
Yeah.
Talk.
It used to be a factory, if I remember correctly, that like shut down, or just like a warehouse or something, like an old abandoned building or a building that wasn't in use, or whoever owned it beforehand had no use for it, so they sold it, and they turned it into a music venue. And I'm pretty sure it opened either this summer or late last fall to summer, which would have been 2021.
That makes sense. So it was a steel factory.
I mean, when you walk in, it definitely looks like
yeah, it's very
an industrial building.
Yeah, very factory.
And I say industrial, like new industrial. It's not like an old brick building, industrial building. It's like just 4 walls, high-rise roof with scaffolding, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to open in 2020, if I remember.
Oh, was it really?
This is all coming back to me now. And I remember seeing articles like that it was supposed to open. And I think I even said to you like, "Oh, this is a bad time to be opening."
Yeah.
Music venue. And then I was kind of like, "Oh, I hope that they can still open it." To have another venue in town. But,
yeah, and I feel like it was last year that they actually opened, because I remember living in, like, we just moved to the South Loop of Chicago and being like, "Oh, there's a new venue that's like kind of close to us. I hope more bands come here." Because even on the way home, we were talking about, we used to live close to House of Blues, and we were debating on which one was closest.
Yeah.
And they're roughly the same.
They are. It's less than half a mile difference between the
two of them.
Yeah, well, not between the two venues, but between where we reside and the venue.
Right. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
The walk home, anyway.
Yeah. So sorry, I'm kind of googling or like looking. But in October 2019, there was an article, and it was set to open in 2020. But I think you're right that it didn't actually open in 2020.
Even
Probably.
if it did, nobody's coming, so it's like, why open?
Right. So I'm sure they did open in 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. So it is new, which I could tell right away. I mean, just using the restrooms or even just looking at it, it's very clean, very new, very, we could talk about like the layout and stuff too. So,
I mean, yeah, it was basically just a giant square with a wall, like not a full wall, like a half wall down the middle, right? And that half wall down the middle had a bar on either side of it. And then, so if you're looking straight at it, you have the wall, and then there's those 2 bars, right? And the bar on the left then is a wide open spot where the standing areas.
Yep.
Everything is GA. And opposite of that bar was another giant bar, the same size as this one, right? But yeah, that giant floor then section is your GA. You look straight ahead. On the opposite side of that wall, like I said, was another bar. It was some, like, I don't want to say fancy, but these like cushiony stool things.
They're not fancy by any means. They're just.
Well, I was thinking, I didn't sit on one or touch one, but it looked leathery. But I was like, there's no way that's leather. It's probably like pleather or like that fake leather shit.
And the cushion's like that.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it's not.
So it's IKEA furniture?
It's pretty much like a wooden seat with like a little cushion.
I mean, it still looked nice.
Yeah, and it's nice. I mean, I saw lots of people utilize it. I utilized it for like 2 minutes, but it is kind of nice to, get off your feet for a second if you're waiting for somebody to come out of the bathroom or whatever you need to do. So. And
those bathrooms were really nice. Like you said, they were new, they were clean.
And there's lots of them.
There was a lot of bathrooms.
Because there was 3 women's restrooms and 3 men's restrooms, I think. So, and very convenient to the stage too. Like straight back, there was a set of one of each, and then on that other side of that wall that you were talking about had 2 women's and 2 men.
So that would have been stage left.
Yep.
So directly off of stage left, there was the 2 bathrooms. Those ones, I don't know if you went in the one in the back. I went to the bathroom in the back.
I did, yeah.
It was smaller. I don't know about the women's.
Right, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It was like just one or one line of stalls in that one, where the other one was like double on both sides.
And the ones on the side were definitely huge, and like, I mean, that's cool. A lot of restrooms, because you're going to be drinking, you're going to be having a good time, so people are going to like. That always sucks when you go to a restaurant, like a concert.
And you're standing in line.
And you're standing in line for 10 minutes to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like,
and you're missing the band, or you're missing.
Right.
Or you're like late to get back to your spot or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
So that did suck. But also basically where the stage was, there was like a little another half wall there as well. So that wall we were talking about with the two bars on it, they had like a little gap, but the wall continued. And there was another bar on that side. It was closed on this particular instance.
Yeah.
And
both the bars on those two sides were closed.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. The other one that we were talking about on the other side of the wall.
Yeah.
And then they had like the gym type doors, like the emergency exit type doors, right? But they were letting people go out there to smoke.
Yeah.
It was like they had a designated smoking area.
Yeah. We were walking around just kind of, looking at everything, so we hadn't been there before, and I think the lady thought that we were looking for the
so they had like an employee straight back by the bar, and they were like, I felt like they were watching me as I was walking toward them, like, you're not supposed to be here. And I was just gonna walk until they said something, but then this other woman stopped us. She's like, "Are you looking for the smoking section?" I was like, "The what?" She's like, "The smoking section." She like pointed over to those doors, and I'm like, "Oh, no, I'm good." And then we saw people walk to them, so I was just curious. So like, I kept eyeballing them to see what was going on, see what it looked like.
Yeah.
Because we had just been to the Roach Center, and they had an outside Resch Center, whatever, and they like had an outside smoking as well, but it was like just outside two doors with like a little barrier.
Yeah, I don't know what this was like, because I never was able to see outside, and we didn't go out there.
No.
But I guess we could have.
We could have
went out to smoke, and we don't smoke, but
maybe next time we'll check it out just to see what it's like.
When we go to the next concert there, because just to kind of see what it is. But I remember when we were talking about the Rush Center, we're like, we've never heard of this before, where you can go like leave the venue.
And
even to go out just to smoke or something. Like, I've never heard that before.
And this seemed like it was designed that way as a smoking.
Yeah.
Because even like when I was watching to see what it looked like the same woman's like, "Don't worry, it's outside." Like, I think
she did say that. Yeah.
I think she thought I was concerned. Like, are these fuckers gonna smoke in here and give me secondhand smoke cancer? Like, no, I wasn't concerned. I just wanted to see this. And honestly, we should have just walked out there.
We should have. Yeah. Friday we will.
Yeah.
Or, not Friday. The next concert.
Next concert. Yeah. Which is on a Friday.
It is on a Friday, but not this Friday. It'll be interesting to see what it looks like out there, because I mean, at the Rush Center it was glass doors, so you could see outside. But
my assumption, now that I think about it, possibly that was like the loading dock, knowing that this was a facility. That could have been like the loading dock area, and they're like, well, we can't do anything with here, let's just repurpose this for smoking.
Like maybe it's like covered like ceiling wise, but then it's all open.
Which,
something.
If so, fucking awesome for utilizing your space for, like, we can't use this space for anything else. But then again, you have bands; they need loading shit.
There's probably maybe another loading dock.
Maybe not. I don't know.
I mean, there could be another like on the back end of the stage.
Maybe. Yeah. And maybe that's what they ended up doing. I don't know. We'll find out next time. But that was kind of cool.
I liked that over every bar they had like red lights. They were like really modern and cool looking.
There were red lights everywhere. It fit the thematic, like not vision, but like the aesthetics of this particular venue. Like their logo is a red R with like the radiuses going out, like music sound waves, right?
Yep. Yeah. I thought it was really cool that they had the red lights over the bars, so that it wasn't like a bright light. I guess that's what I was getting at, is like some venues have actual, I mean, I'm saying actual lights, but like white light, and then it seems bright by the bars. Like the Argonne is one that I'm thinking of. That if you're over by the bar area, it's bright over there because they have real lights on. And these are more red, so it didn't seem so bright.
Yeah, I can't remember. I know Aragon definitely had like the brighter lights. I don't know if they were like lights or like neon. Like it's definitely an older venue.
Yeah, I don't know what they are, but I just know that they're brighter.
But that's a good point because I mean these were like the LED lights, so they can change the color if they wanted to. I'm guessing. I don't know for sure.
You're hoping because you like those kind of lights.
Change. Yeah, that's I don't know. Yeah, they also had like a designated merch section with even like wooden cutout merchandise letters above it. Like,
I didn't even notice that.
This is where merch always fucking is.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. Yeah, is that where the Trivium merch was?
Trivium and
what was that other band?
Between the Buried in Me stuff was there. Directly behind that on the opposite wall. So as you walk in, this main merch is on your right as you walk in, and then this other merch was on your left, and that's where Whitechapel and Khemmis were at.
Yeah, and those were just, it seemed like their own, like maybe a folding table. It wasn't like designated merch area, so definitely
just like a little corner they could be in, for sure.
Which is awesome because otherwise, like it's either you're smashing all the merch together or they're not able to set up their merch.
Yeah, and it felt like there was plenty of room to like hang all the shirts up so they weren't crammed together.
Yeah, and also I like granted, I never felt like there was a line, but it wasn't like having them right there at the doorway either was like causing issues with lines or
very true.
Having them separate maybe helped a little bit to not have so many lines. But
once again, at the Rush or Roach Center, whatever you want to call it, like when you walk through that security, you're instantly in the line of the
merch.
And not here. You're not in the line.
Yeah. Well, at least not for this concert.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean,
there's a lot of room right there.
There is. Yeah.
So I don't see that being an issue.
Yeah.
So I guess let's talk about that. Getting into the venue.
Okay.
So we walked up, and because we didn't buy these tickets, we bought these through the AXS, I think is the company.
Yeah.
That we bought these tickets through. We were like, well, it's not a Live Nation concert. But as we walked up, you saw so many people out front with Live Nation or red shirts on. Yeah. And like, oh shit.
Which Argon also uses the red shirts, so we kind of. Well, and also I think on the ticket it says Live Nation Presents.
It does, yes.
That was the first thing I saw because you pulled them out of your pocket as we were walking up, and then we saw the red shirts, and I'm like, well, they look the same as Argon. Argon uses Live Nation. So.
Yeah, and what I guess I don't know is if Live Nation Presents is just the name of the tour.
Yeah, possibly.
Right? Like,
Well, it wasn't the name of the tour, but.
Well, I mean, same thing like Laser 103.3 presents
I see what you're saying.
the Subliminal Verses tour, right?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. They're just like a promoter of which is possible. I don't honestly know. Like that gets into the business side of things that we don't know a whole lot about.
Yeah.
I would love to learn more about that.
Maybe we will someday.
Yeah. But that was a bit concerning as well because like, fuck, I hate Live Nation. I hate their venues. And we quickly did a Google search, and this was owned by some just
a person,
random person.
Yeah.
So we haven't done any research to see if this is, maybe for the next show we should do that research. Next show we go for this concert.
Okay. Yeah, we can do a little research on that.
And find out like what the relationship is there. Maybe he just leases out like security services or staffing services, right? Because all of the bartenders were Live Nation. Looked like they were Live Nation employees.
Yeah.
Did they? I can't remember.
No,
they had normal shirts on.
They had like band shirts on. Yeah.
So maybe not actually.
Yeah. But the security was.
Security definitely was, right.
Yeah. Which is understandable. Like, I mean, I'm not saying like you have to use Live Nation, but sourcing out security could be something.
Oh, for sure.
That is done often, like for every venue. I don't know.
Right. Like, I doubt every venue has their own security services. Right. So, I mean, leasing it out to a company that specializes in security and training their security.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
That makes sense. And if Live Nation does that, I could definitely see Live Nation doing that, given the fact they own all the goddamn venues everywhere.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you don't want just some Joe Smo, or however you say that. You don't want some just person off the street, that has no training that's like, oh, now you're checking people for weapons and you're
right. You don't want to be those
safe
losers who put Woodstock 99 together and just gave random people shirts and said, here you go, be security.
Yeah.
Like, fuck those assholes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Live Nation sucks. Those fuckers suck too.
I mean, who knows? Maybe Live Nation security is the same way and they just do
perhaps.
Like a
we don't
1 hour
right.
course and they're like, now you're a security guard or security for the event.
Perhaps. But at the same time, like, they seem pretty good when you see, like, crowd surfers coming over, they're on point.
Yeah, I watched them last night, and they were like, they even had, I don't know if you noticed, but they had two guys up at the top watching the crowd.
So I saw people up at the,
yeah, and one of them kept talking, so
I'm
pretty sure he had like a thing or whatever, because he kept like going like this, so I'm sure he had like a connection to somebody, but I think they were like watching the crowd and kind of like, being like, hey, whatever.
So yeah,
I hope I hope they were just watching the people have fun and make sure nobody's getting hurt, and not being like, we need to kick somebody out or something.
So we did say it's GA only. You go in, there's this giant floor that you're in. There is a rafter, not like a rafter, but like a walkway.
A catwalk.
Yeah, that's a good way. A catwalk. So if you're looking at the stage, it's to your right, up high, and I did see people up there looking down. I like watching, especially at the House of Blues, I notice it. The House of Blues has these boxes that you can sit in. Like, I'm assuming people buy them. It's probably like a VIP box or something. But behind the stage where the curtain is, there's also another box. And every now and then you see people hanging out there looking down in between sets. And I'm always like, is that Johannes sitting there watching the opener? I hope to God it is. Like, I never get a good look at them, and I don't know band members that well for when we see shows.
Well, Johannes looks like Johannes just without white paint.
Yeah, I could probably pick him out because he's also like a billion feet fucking tall. Like, just giant man.
And stark black hair.
Yeah.
Which is not
but like
common.
Just a band watching their openers. I love that thought.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're jumping around a little bit. Let's get back to the entryway. So as we're walking up, we looked up. We're gonna do more research. Maybe not.
Oh, we probably won't.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
But like we said, 3 individuals per door. One person's checking IDs because it was an 18+ show only.
Yeah.
And
that venue might be 18+. I don't know. Like, you have to be? I don't know.
I don't think in this moment is.
Oh, okay.
But maybe it is. We'll find out.
That's weird that Trivium would be then.
I don't know. I mean, yeah. I don't know. It's also school night, so.
It's a school night.
Yeah, you gotta get those kids, get their 8 hours of rest.
Anywho.
And then one guy stamping their hands.
Yeah,
like
so
your hand.
So I can't remember exactly, but like one person's checking IDs. One person has the stamps, and it's 2 separate stamps. One's a black X, and then one's a 21 with a circle around it. Like
black X meaning you're underage, you can't drink.
Yeah, like it's a huge black X. And then the other person's doing wristbands.
Right.
Is that correct?
Yep.
Like there was 3 separate people?
Yep.
That's what I thought. It was kind of chaotic when we got up there.
I mean, I think the whole thing is let's keep the line getting in
I
short.
think so too. Yeah.
Like what is it? It's the assembly line approach. Everybody has their one job, do your one thing.
You're trained to do this one thing.
And just repeat that job over and over and over.
Yeah.
But the guy saw it's so light now.
Oh, okay.
The guy's like, "Are you over 18?" I'm like, "I think I am." And then he's like, "Yep, he's over 18." And the guy puts a red X on my hand.
A black X.
A black X, yeah. And then he's like, the other guy or somebody's like, "Oh shit, no, you're over 21, right?" And like, yeah. And so then he takes the red 21 and just places that over. And he's like, I don't know what he said, but it was something along the lines of, "It's fine, they'll just be confused."
Yeah. I don't think you were probably looking at your hand when he did it, but I was looking like at him. And as soon as he put the black X, he's like, "Oh shit." Like, you could tell in his face that he's like, "Fuck, that was the wrong one." Like, and then he like kind of fumbled a little bit and then put the red X on your hand, but whatever. I don't think anybody even noticed.
No, and you get a wristband anyway to show that you're over 21, I think.
Yeah. Or it had like 21 written on it like multiple times, yeah.
So it's both of those two things. The stamp and the band, like you're over 21.
Yeah.
Then you go in, you get your pat down, pull everything out of your pockets.
That was weird to me that it was a pat down.
Right.
We haven't had that
detector
for so long. Like generally House of Blues does pat downs.
Yep.
But generally you walk through the metal detectors.
Aragon did metal detector and pat down.
Yep. Yeah.
This was no metal detector, just a pat down.
Yeah. Did you realize that you went to
I did
female
realize
person.
I got a pat down from a female, and
Yeah.
I felt weird getting pat down
Yeah.
by.
I didn't know it was a pat down, so you went that way. So then I was like, well, I'll just go to the other side, and the guy over there was like pointed like basically like you have to go.
Right.
Like, I mean, this is just me personally. I don't care who's doing it. Just let me get into the venue. That's just me personally. That's my own personal thought. Maybe if something would happen, then I would have a different thought. But I mean, women can do things to women, or men can do things to men that are not appropriate. Also,
Yeah, I get why women don't want men to pat them down.
I
100% get that.
I 100% get it too. I'm just saying my own personal opinion.
And I also I didn't want to make the woman patting me down feel uncomfortable that she had to pat me down. That's the thought that went through my head of like, I'm not trying to be a creepy asshole here. Like, touch my junk type shit, right?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize I was going to get pat down.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I may have like gone to the other side where there's a man, just to like remove that discomfort she would have had if she had any. Like, just like even remove that from the equation, and that's where my mind went. But not knowing that, and then we're in the middle of it, it's like, fuck, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I did realize that, and that's what went through my head.
Yeah, like pat downs are just something that doesn't really happen. I mean, granted, if you go through TSA, it does sometimes. But,
sometimes, yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just feel like women and men is not always the best option. I mean, obviously it's better, not obviously, but it can be better than men and women, or whatever.
Women getting pat down by men.
Yeah, that sort of thing. But men could also do something inappropriate to a man.
Oh, for sure.
And women can do something inappropriate to a woman.
Yeah.
So I just think pat downs are not the best option altogether.
They're not. I mean, especially given technology and like screening. Like, we go to Cubs games. This is the first year we went where we just
last year we did. Yeah.
No, but like, this was the first year we went through and didn't have to take anything out of our pockets.
Last year we didn't have to.
Last year we had to put them in the little slipway thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because at that point I had a different keychain.
Right.
Which looked like a knife almost.
Yeah.
And every time I do that, they're like, is this a knife? And it's like,
it wasn't
But
anyway.
It had the same shape
I know
as
what
a
you're
pocket
saying.
knife.
Yeah, like your keys faced inward.
Keys would fold in, and you'd put this little leather strap over it. So it was the same shape and dimensions of like a pocket knife.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I was like, it wasn't a knife.
No, but I can see why they would think it was.
Yeah.
So this was the first year you just walked in and it like scanned you. So given that like that's a thing and metal detectors are a thing, and just put your shit through a zoop thing.
Yeah.
Like, why do you have to get a pat down?
Yeah, that's what I'm basically saying. Is like, I don't feel like pat downs are a good option.
Right. Once again, though, I think it's more of just going back to the Argon. I don't think it's about. It is about security. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's also about, let's take out all the other vices people have. Let's take out their drugs that they can bring in, because if they can't smoke their weed or they can't do their coke or whatever the fuck they're gonna do, the only option they have to
buy beer.
Yeah, to like get unsobered is buy alcohol, which is crazy fucking expensive. Yeah. So I can see pat downs being, yes, it's for security. Additionally, it's to increase revenue.
Possibly, yeah.
Because I mean, you're not picking up weed as you go through a metal detector,
right?
So that's where the pat down comes.
Everybody had it. Well, not everybody, but people had it.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, but anyways, I was just I mean, whatever. We can get off the pat down thing, but
then we took our physical tickets up to the next woman in front of us to scan our tickets. Tried scanning them, didn't work.
Tried typing in.
Then tried typing it in and still didn't work, like the number. And I was getting nervous. Like, I legit bought these. I didn't just print this fucking shit out. It's on like good cardstock shit, right?
Yeah. I was worried too. I thought that she was gonna be like, because she even asked like, "Where'd you get these?"
I was like, I bought them straight from you, like AXS or whoever. And I start to pull my phone out to look, and then she tries one more time to scan it, still doesn't work, and she's like, "You're good." Yeah. Like, I'm done fucking with this. Yeah. These are good tickets.
Yeah. I got worried that she was gonna be like, "We can't scan this. Like, you can't come in. Like, you can't come in." And I was about to say, like, "Do you have the email as well?" But you were already thinking that. But she didn't want to fight with us, so.
But yeah, we walked in, we saw everything we described earlier. The one thing we didn't say is they also had food for sale.
Yeah, I noticed that.
We didn't try any. I saw a couple of people walk by with it, but it looked like it was just normal
Venue
concession food,
Yeah.
right? Like deep fried chicken tenders and French fries and shit. So
Yeah.
I doubt the food was any good. But I don't know. Maybe the next show we go to see, like I said several times already, is In This Moment, right? The show starts at 5:30. So goddamn early. We might be getting food
Get some
as a
chicken
quick
tenders.
snack, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not anticipating quality food at all.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, we got food at Five Finger, and it was not good.
But I mean, it's an empty warehouse. You think it's going to sound like shit. Cement floors.
Yeah. I was going to say that too.
The one wall opposite of that, like half wall had the double bars on, one on one.
So the full wall?
The full wall. They had a bunch of noise panels up on it.
Yeah, but it looked really cool. I don't know. Like, they had it in a design where they weren't like just like panels. It was like.
It was definitely staggered, right? So it gave it a little bit of texture and dimension to it.
Yeah, it was cool.
Definitely a cool thing to do, right? And then you look up the roof and it's all like foam insulation as well.
Yep.
So when the bands went on, I was like, shit, this actually sounds a lot better than I expected.
Yeah. I think it's like one of the best venues that we've been to with sound in a long time.
Trying to think, yeah. Definitely better than the Aragon.
Yeah. I mean, when we went to Beat Kitchen, that was really good. It was a really small space, but.
Yeah, the last two before this, I think, were the smaller ones outside of United Center.
United Center, yeah.
But the last two were these small ass club type things. And those sounded amazing to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, like when we went to Aragon, Tinley Park, and then the Resch Center was horrible.
Yeah, the Resch was fucking garbage.
Yeah, they needed. I don't know. We kind of learned a little bit last weekend about.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
We kind of learned a little bit last weekend about how one small venue did their sound, and it's like if the Resch Center does that, they need to find a new sound person.
Right, and that's the thing. Like, I don't know if it's the Resch Center doing this, or if it's Ghost, or like who the sound engineer was, or if it was just that particular venue always sucks for sound.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Well, because even like, I've never noticed this before. I think after we went to Thrash of the Titans and kind of like saw the back end of things, I'm noticing more and more stuff. But even like last night, there was 3 soundboards. Or 3 separate soundboards. Or it seemed like 3 separate soundboards. But like there's 3 rows, so I'm assuming that they're 3 separate.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I remember the different rows.
And that doesn't make sense because there's 4 bands.
Well, I remember 2 rows. There may have been a third one that I'm just not remembering.
There was. Because I remember when we were standing by that door thing, like there was one in front of us, one behind us, and then we had to walk to see the third row. Yeah.
And then one of them, though, had like a split. So it was like one of the rows had a setup here and a setup over here.
Yep.
So, I mean...
Possibly they have their own soundboards?
Maybe. My guess is more of lighting.
Oh, maybe.
Like some of them are lighting. We went to a concert. I can't remember what one. But I remember watching... I always thought lighting was like automated. Like you have to like hit a button and then the whole lighting setup just went with the set.
Oh.
But this particular show... Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Oh, okay.
I saw somebody actually sitting there pulling like a lever up and down. And
I've always thought it was manual.
I just assumed it was
a computer program?
Automated. Like this seems like something we can definitely automate, right? Like you're getting ready to play your song. You know how long the song's gonna be.
So do you just like have somebody push a button like song starts?
Right, like right.
But then you're
In Wave starts, play the lights for In Wave. But
sometimes they add things to it or
that's the other thing too. That now that I think about it, it does make more sense. But I also think there could be some automation aspect to it.
Possibly. There possibly could.
Yeah. I don't know. Technology's crazy now. Anywho.
Yeah.
Or the band's up there and they kick a switch with their foot to like start off. Like I don't know.
It's employing somebody, so it shouldn't be automated.
No, it isn't. I'm fascinated by how things work.
I know you are. Your brain always thinks that way.
So when I saw that, I was like, A, I had never actually thought about it, and B, if I had thought about it, my mind would not go to somebody hitting a button or like moving a lever up and down.
Like, light up, light
And that's what it was.
Yeah.
And like a whole board of like, this light, all right, now I need to do these lights. Like when they're even testing the lights, they all go like this and they all like know what to do. Like I always assumed that was pre-programmed. But anywho, so some of those boards could have been for that, right? Other effects and whatnot. Like those boards can be for so many things. It could be for each band bringing their own, but that just seems crazy to do.
Yeah, it does seem crazy.
That just bloats your expense because then you have to trek all that shit around. Have one soundboard that controls everything.
Yeah,
would be my guess. But I don't know. Like we said, that's the backside of a concert going experience that we just aren't familiar with. We're familiar with the fan perspective. I would love to see more of,
like what we saw with Dash of the Titans.
Right, that was so much fun to see. To see the setup, to see all of that went in, see the teardown, like from that perspective, even though it was like a small club type show, it was so much fun and gave you so much more insight. And it just balloons from there. Like think of Rammstein and all that fucking shit. They had basically 2 sets. They trekked around to every goddamn across the nation because it's like it takes that long to set up.
Right.
So the logistics aspect of this is just, it blows my mind to think about, and I would love to learn more about that.
I did think when I saw the drum set for Khemmis, I was like, somebody had to put that fucking thing together.
Yep.
Thanks, Greg. Wouldn't it be funny if every drum kit setup person had to be named Greg?
So I think we both agree that like this venue was really, really cool, really good. We liked it a lot.
We did, yeah.
But you did bring up Khemmis. Let's just dive straight into the bands now. Like venue's awesome, but once again, we're here for the music. Let's talk about that now.
Awesome.
It's been 40 fucking minutes, 30 minutes, whatever the fuck it's been. It's been a while. Let's actually talk about music.
We always do this. We always talk about venues for too long.
So going into this, I thought, and I even put this in like the show description, that this was our first time seeing all of these bands. It was our first time at this venue. It was a night of many firsts for us.
Not Trivium.
Well, yeah, outside of Trivium.
Okay.
Everything else was new to us. Except at the end of Khemmis, we realized Khemmis actually wasn't new to us. We'd seen them before.
Right.
And that was earlier this year, right?
Yeah, so when we went to see Mastodon and Opeth.
Yep.
So Khemmis actually opened for Mastodon, or for, I guess it was Opeth, because Opeth was headlining.
Opeth was the headliner, then Mastodon,
Yep. So, but Khemmis opened, and I think we saw like 1 or 2 songs of theirs. We got there late.
Yeah, we definitely got the tail end of theirs. I can't remember why we got there late. Maybe it was just getting dinner or some shit like that.
I don't remember.
Driving, yeah.
It was cold.
It was.
We were
I remember
just
it was cold. It was like April or some shit.
And whenever we go, it was in Milwaukee, and whenever we go to the Eagles Club in Milwaukee, we always park. I don't even know where we park, like behind an apartment building.
Just some apartment buildings,
it's like $5.
Yeah,
so versus,
for the night.
Yeah, for the entire night. So instead of paying for the parking lot, like we'll walk a half a mile to save some money.
But yeah, I do remember seeing the band. I don't remember their name during that show.
Yeah.
And I was like, we heard the last 2 songs, like, I like these guys. These guys are good.
Yeah.
And I always meant to go back and like look them up, figure out who they were, but never actually did it. So it was cool to see their show from the beginning, being like, this is a new band to me. I've never heard any of their music. And then coming to the realization that like, oh no, we have seen them and I loved them before and I love them now still.
Yeah. And I didn't know they were from Denver though. That was a lot of, we like Denver. So I was like, oh, it'd be cool to see a show there or see them in a show there. So
yeah, they're definitely like a death metal-y sound to them.
Yeah.
Lots of growling. The imagery they had on like their backing banners, their merch, so fucking awesome. All of their imagery.
Yeah, I think you liked it more than me. I wasn't really into their imagery.
Oh, you
that
weren't?
much. No, not really. It's kind of like, how do you explain it? Like, warrior.
So
Or is that the right word?
On their shirt, they had like an elf warrior. I think that's like the shirt I got or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
On the backdrop, I can't remember what was on stage left's backdrop. Stage right was I viewed it as a Catholic bishop, but zombified. Like his face was starting to droop, like
Oh,
a
okay.
Catholic bishop had just been turned into a zombie, and a pretty fresh zombie, and now he's going to go and spread his zombie flu or Catholicism
Okay.
to others.
I thought it was more like a warrior with like a hat and
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know what it was.
yeah.
So that's why I just thought all of it was like like Princess Warrior themed or whatever.
I mean
I don't know.
that I did feel like that bishop was kind of like, this doesn't fit your other themes back there, which were definitely like more warrior and kind of fantasy. Like I said, an elf princess warrior lady. But it was all like black and white imagery as well. But the energy on the stage, the performance, the sound, all of it was fucking awesome. I loved these guys so much.
Yeah, I think it's the one thing that I pointed, or that not that I pointed out, but that I realized is I like when there's like two vocalists, which in this case it was like the guitarist was like the more growly voice or the growly sound, and then the singer was it was growly but like more melodic as well. So I really like that when they not switch off, that's the wrong word, but like,
But in a way it is, right?
Yeah.
Like you typical, like think of Metallica, right? Where James Hetfield is the singer.
Yeah.
Avatar, Johannes is the singer.
Yeah.
But then the others in the band come in as backup vocals. They do the chorus. Like that's what you typically think of. You don't think of James being the lead for one song and then Kirk coming in and being the lead for another song.
I guess, yeah.
Like that switching off, they don't do. Here, they did do that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and Wage War does it as well.
Right.
That's I don't want to always compare everything to Wage War, even though they're like the band that I've been listening to the most lately. But they switch off as well. It's a little bit opposite, where the singer is more growly and then the guitarist is more melodic. But
yeah, I mean, I noticed that the first time I ever experienced that was Linkin Park, right? You had your rap vocalist and then you had your metal vocalist.
Yeah.
And I think that's why when I think of like Bloodywood, I think of them as Linkin Park-esque, right? Because it's the same sort of setup to me. It's you have your metal vocalist and you have your more rappy vocalist.
Yeah. I get that vibe from Bloodywood as well.
Yeah. But here it's just a different tone, different sound.
Yeah.
Mastodon's very similar, right? Where they have the guitar player sing and then the drummer sing. And it's different people singing different tones. And you're right, you get the melodic and then you get that heavy growl as well.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just really cool to mix that up and see that range. I like that a lot.
Yeah, yeah. And to see I'm really bad with my description of words tonight, but to see like the flexibility of the artists as well, that they can do so much, is really cool to see.
Right. Yeah.
So I noticed, I didn't think it was this short, but I noticed that you added the songs to our playlist.
I did, yep.
Did they really only play 4 songs?
They did play just very few songs. At least that's what was on Setlist FM when I looked it up. But if you look at the length, some of those songs are like 7 minutes long.
Yeah.
So as an opener, that's your 40 minutes right there.
It is. Well, it wasn't even, it was 25 minutes that they played.
Oh, right. It was super fucking short.
Yeah. Yeah. So it makes sense that, because 2 of them are almost 5 minutes and then a 7 minute and just over 7 minutes. So yeah, right there is your set, right?
But it didn't feel like 4 songs.
It didn't.
And like we said, we went into this fresh, not listening to the music. So like it's kind of cool to, like, you always say it with like Master of Puppets, like that's really 2 songs. That's not 1 song. It's the same thing here, right? Like you have the melody change or you have the tone change, or whatever it is. And then it's like, oh, it's 2 separate songs, but it's really one that just melds together really well.
Yeah. I didn't realize it was only 4 songs. I mean, they did a great job of flowing if it was only 4 songs.
Oh, no, there's one more. There's one more for them. It's a new song coming out this spring.
Oh, right. So they did play 5 songs.
They played in 5th, right?
Yeah.
So I've got that on the list to add once it finally comes out back in the playlist.
Yeah, they were like, oh, this is a new song that's coming out. Yeah, I remember them saying that.
Yeah, which I love to see, but now, like you said, we have a playlist for every band we see that we like live. We find their set list and add that set list to our playlist in the order we saw the band. Yep. So, like, there's a few of them now that we have to add once they finally come out with their new song.
Yeah.
Which is, like I said, it's awesome to hear new material. I love hearing new material. But now I have to remember to come back 6 months later, a year later, find that, and then re-add it. That's one bit I'm not liking about this whole playlist thing, but small complaint.
Oh, this is weird. So we have 607 songs, but it instead of giving a listen time, it just says over 24 hours now.
Oh, it was like over 40 hours.
It was over 40, so I was kind of curious what it would say now, but it just says over 24. I don't like that. I want them to tell me exactly how long. Well, because we were talking about it, because even when it was over 40 hours, I was like, but really we've seen way more live music than 40 hours, because some of these bands we've seen multiple times this year, and there's more bands that we have seen, but we didn't add their music because we weren't really into it.
There's that, and you're absolutely right. When we see a band, like you said earlier, we've seen Trivium
3
once
times.
this year. One other time this year.
One other time, yeah.
So we added their set list from that performance, and we only add net new songs to the performance.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into when we get to Trivium.
Yeah.
But yeah, Khemmis. I was a big fan of this band.
I was too.
I loved it. It was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope to see them sometime. I mean, I keep saying this, but I hope to see them sometime when they can play a longer set.
Yeah.
And we are going to Denver in a few weeks, couple months.
Yeah, in December we're going to, like, it's a beer festival and metal festival all
so
in
it's
one.
called Decibel at the Summit.
Is it Decibel, or is Decibel the magazine putting it on? That's where I'm always confused.
Oh.
I think Decibel's the magazine.
Okay.
But I could be wrong. I know it's like a magazine that presented this
okay.
metal and beer festival all in one.
Okay. Well, anyways, it's the first weekend in December.
And we thought, hey, are they going to be there? But we talked to the merch guy, and he's like, they might be there as fans, but not as...
Yeah, they're not playing.
Which sucks.
Yeah.
But also, I get it.
Yeah.
You can't play everything.
Yeah. Or you can't get booked to everything.
Yeah.
So. But that might be a little bit more... Well, I don't know. This is pretty death metal-y sounding, but I was like, maybe that's a little... We don't know. We don't... Half the band, or we only know one band there that's playing, so it'll be a completely new...
It's going to be fun, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
But, yeah, I agree. Khemmis was fucking awesome. I want to see them again, and we'll be keeping an eye out for them.
Yep, definitely.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
What? What?
Khemmis was like, we love playing Reggie's.
Right.
And we've never been to Reggie's.
Right.
So, like, that's where we got to pay attention to see if they come back.
Yeah.
Because if they do, we're going to
I need to be looking at Reggie's, like, all the time to see what is there. Because it's kind of like, I get it on my Facebook, but it's always like they're playing here Friday. And it's like, oh, we already have something planned on Friday. Or,
I do look from time to time. Like, there were a few times you were out of town. It's like, I need something to do. Let's see what Reggie's has going on. They had like a Thrash of the Titans type tribute band, right? Playing. It's like, holy shit, that sounds like a lot of fun. Let's go to that. But it was already sold out. It's like, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And I always think about it like a week before you leave, because I'm like, I'm still in that like mindset of nothing sells out. Nothing's gonna sell out, and it sells out. It's like, you fucking assholes. Why'd you sell out? And then I would look at myself like, you fucking asshole. Why didn't you buy tickets earlier?
Yeah. Well, we don't know what the venue or what the venues are like at Reggie's, because
also,
I mean, it could be like Beat Kitchen where you only sell 150 tickets. I mean, that's going to sell out quick.
Right.
So, yeah.
So
we need to really start looking at those.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that for Khemmis, because they come there and play, and I want to see them again.
Yeah, they did bring up Reggie's and said it was their second home or something.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So next, we have Whitechapel.
Whitechapel. That was my highlight of the night.
Was it really?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
So, you didn't listen to their music before this, right?
Nope. I had heard a Whitechapel song, but it was covered by a lady that's on Instagram who is also an artist, but she does like lives or does recordings of her singing. And so I don't even know what song it was, but I think her name's Vicky. I should have looked up her name. But she covered one of their songs for one of her videos on Instagram. So that's how I came to know Whitechapel. And then after I knew of it, then I was like seeing people wear shirts and I was seeing like articles, and like it's one of those things, once it gets in your head, then you're seeing it all the time.
Right.
But I never, besides that one song, I had never looked up I never listened to them because I knew we were going to see them. So like what we've said before, we like to go in fresh. So I wasn't like, I'm going to listen to this before going in. And I'm glad I did not listen to them because it was phenomenal.
So I remember you saying all of that to me ahead of time about, I watched a woman on Instagram sing their song.
I think
she
I even
does
came
this
and
all
told
the time.
you, like, oh my gosh, this woman's amazing.
You may have. I can't
Yeah.
remember. Yeah. And then you're like, I see their shirts everywhere. And then every now and then it's like, oh, Whitechapel, you like them, right? And it's like, I actually never listened to them. I just know them. And you do the whole thing again.
Yeah.
So in my head, for some reason, I don't know if it was because you said you saw a woman sing on Instagram, I thought it was going to be more softer, melodic, possibly a female vocalist.
Oh, okay.
And then the band takes the stage, and it's these 4 guys, 2 guitars, a bass, and a drummer. And I was like, all right, no woman. I wonder which one of you men are singing. And then the singer comes out. Also, not a woman. And fucking just screams into the fucking mic.
Yep.
And tears
like
it
death
up.
Screams, yeah.
Yeah. And I was just, I was taken aback. I was like, I was not expecting this whatsoever.
Yeah.
Not to say I didn't like it. I liked their set a lot. Fucking awesome set. So much goddamn energy. Amazing.
You just wanted a woman.
No, I was just expecting it because it's weird because when you say a woman singer, a woman front person, right? For some reason, I instantly go to like a more melodic, more like, I don't want to say feminine vocals, but you know what I mean? Like it's I don't want to say different either. Like that's wrong. It's just, there's a certain tone in my head that I have when you tell me like, oh, there's a female front person. And I don't know what I'm trying to say, because if you had told me, for example, Arch Enemy had a female vocalist,
yeah,
I would be like, you're fucking wrong.
Right.
And no.
Well, I mean, I can hear that it's a female now.
Oh, I still can't.
Oh, really?
And then when you see her on stage, it's like she's fucking kicking ass.
Like, how's that sound coming out of your little body?
Right, exactly. Like, how can something so small make something so scary and deep, and like, I don't know, it's awesome to see.
Yeah.
100%. And same with like Raven Black, right?
Yeah.
Where it's that, like, I think the first time we saw them, you turned to me like, that's a big sound from a little girl type thing.
Yeah. Another one of my favorite bands.
But like, I expected that, and then it's like, holy shit, this is just as good as I expected, but different than I don't know. It took me a couple seconds to like shake my head out and be like, okay, here's what we're dealing with now. Still fucking awesome. Let's go with it.
Yeah. I probably threw you off because the woman does do melodic singing. Like, she's one of kind of like Spirit Box, where like she can melodic sing and then just on a dime go into growls, and like it's amazing. I'll show you her videos.
Like,
but I need to figure out who. So she's like a singer, not like a singer. she's a singer in a band, and right now I think she might be in Europe because I think they're touring Europe. But like, she's another one. Like, if we can see her band, I would 100% be buying tickets.
See, and I think that's where like not many people I think have that range to have that slower melodic sound and then goes deep into the growls.
Yeah.
Like to do that effortlessly and seamlessly, like it's really rare. And I guess when I think of people who can do that, typically it's the female vocalist that can do it the best, in my opinion.
Yeah. I wonder if that's why a lot of, I mean, we just talked about it with Khemmis, but like, and Wage War does the same thing where like it's two separate singers.
Two vocalists.
Yeah. I should say vocalists, not singers, but where they both, one kind of does like the more growly, one does more the melodic kind of thing. So I wonder if that's why, because if they can't get their voice to, I mean, I feel like Corey can do that. Corey Taylor.
I think Corey can too.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know what you have to do vocal wise to do that.
I think it can fuck your vocals up pretty hard.
I think so too.
Like I think I read somewhere once that Corey fucked his vocals up after Iowa, and like he had to rebuild his vocals and like
retrain and everything.
Exactly. Yeah. Like it's not something you can just wake up and do. It requires so much fucking effort to do.
Like whenever I listen to a song and try to sing, or like if I'm just like singing along, it's always like a whisper.
Yeah.
Like I can't do it. But I mean, I'm not a singer either. Like you don't want to hear me sing. But like I feel like I try to do it and it just comes out as a whisper, because like I try to do like that deep back throat thing.
Yeah.
And I mean that could be the wrong way to do it anyways.
Maybe.
I don't
Probably.
know. I've never done anything vocal, so.
I mean, all that to say, I was very surprised and still fucking loved every second of this.
Yeah.
They fucking killed again.
Yeah, I think it was Lost Boy. I'm trying to think of it as the second or third song, but we always talk about this, but like the pit always happens to open up by us.
Yep, the pit opened up, yep.
And I knew as soon as it started that I was like, there's gonna be a pit opening up. And well, because at first I was during Khemmis, I'm like,
there was no pit. Yeah,
I'm like, what's going on here? Like, are these people? Is this gonna be like a quiet crowd for the night? But like as soon as it started, I knew it was gonna open up, and I happened to look over, because I like kind of started looking around, and I happened to look over, and I just saw these two guys, and they kind of looked at each other, and then they just like started going at it. Just, I don't know if they were joking or not, but then all of a sudden it just opened, and I was like, I even told you, I was like, I saw it happen, and like I've never, like it's always been that it's off to the side or like to our back or something, and we never actually see it happen. But I was like, that was really cool just to see that look in their eyes, and then it just opened.
I've never been in an actual fight with someone, and I remember growing up, I was in like 5th grade or something. I was talking to an older friend about it who may have been in a fight. I can't remember. And I was asking him, like, what happens when you get in a fight? What do you do? And he's like, whatever they do, you do. If they push you, you push them. If they punch you, you punch them. And it all, like what you were describing, sounds just like that, except for like a friendly kind of way.
Yeah.
Of like these two guys just look at each other like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
And then one guy pushes one, and that force is going to go back a little. And then boom, just another push, and then a push, and a push, and a push, and a push. And it doesn't take that much. It probably takes like 2 pushes.
Yeah.
And then somebody from the outside who got hit in the back is like, motherfuckers, let's go. And pushes again. And now you have 3 people pushing. And then it just opens up from there.
Yeah.
And then you it always pisses me off at first. But then I'm like, whatever, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
And I'm going to say the one asshole. But they're not assholes. I get what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's the one person 18 people back who sees a pit.
And just charges.
Shoulders down, head down, and boom, I'm going through.
Yeah.
All he wants to do is get to the pit.
Yeah.
And he's trying to take any other willing people around him. I'm say him, them. There's plenty of females now in the pit, which is fucking awesome.
100%, yeah.
All they are trying to do is, I'm making my intention known. I'm going to the pit, And anybody else who is on the fence, tag along back. Let's fucking go have some fun.
Yeah. I agree with you. Like that one, like when the people just budge through, like that kind of irritates me in a way. But then also it's the people that irritate me are the ones that like, I don't even know how to explain this like nicely, but they are trying to get out of the way because they don't want to be by the pit, but they don't move enough to get out of the way because they're like, I don't know what they think is going to happen. But it's like, if you don't want to be by the pit, then you need to get like 5 rows in. Like, don't just stand right in front of me if you don't want to be by the pit.
There are people who are like, this was my spot, and they had a really good spot, especially shorter people.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
that's
like,
true.
I could see the stage perfectly, and then all of a sudden the pit opens,
and
now I'm over here by these giant motherfuckers, and I can't see shit.
That's probably what happens.
The only thing they're doing is looking at these people like, you fucking assholes. I had my spot. I was good. I was settled.
Yeah.
And you took that from me. So I get that animosity that they may have. But at the same time, like, I'm there for the live music to see the performance. But it's that cyclical thing we talk about, right? Where it's the band feeds off the crowd feeds off the band, and so on. So, like, I enjoy watching the crowd just as much, if not more, than the band sometimes.
Yeah. So. I agree. Yeah. I thought it was really cool to see it all go down.
To see that, like, we're doing this.
Yeah. Because, I mean, normally it happens, like, it's behind us or, like, it opens to the side of us or something and you don't actually see it. But I just happened to turn my head at the same time and it was really cool.
Yeah.
Maybe someday we should try to get inside of a pit once. No, not really.
No?
No. I'd fall and cry. I'd fall in that cement and I would, like, cry and not be able to get up.
No, you wouldn't cry right away. You'd get up because there's going to be 18 people helping you up. Then you're going to go off the stage and you're going to...
Yeah. And then I'll be like, don't touch me, don't touch me. I'm going to cry.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Amazing energy from the crowd. The band was amazing.
Yeah.
So much energy. Yeah. Another band, like...
I've already listened to their entire album. Yeah. But yeah, as soon as Whitechapel is done, we rushed back to the merch stand. And...
Roach back to the merch stand.
Roach back?
That was definitely rushed back.
Rushed back. And got their album. What album did I get? Vision?
It was the red one.
Valley. Vision? The Valley. So they had 2 there. They had Kin and Valley. And I got the Valley one because the last song they played, which is Doomwoods, just something about it. I was like, I have to listen to this song again. So that's the one. That's why I was in line, like, searching what song and what album it was.
Yeah, that was cool to go through merch. We walked over there before, like, any band started, also just like do a quick skim of what they had. We saw they had posters and albums, all of which were signed. The posters were signed and the albums were signed.
Yeah.
The albums were $50 each. I expected them to just have like 1 or 2.
They had a whole box.
He had a whole box.
Yeah.
Like, we said we want this album. He's like, okay, reaches back.
Yeah.
And like the whole stack, like, just grabs one.
Yeah, I kind of thought I thought that, like, it would be just, like a few of them, but.
And the poster's just this, like, little, I don't want to say 8x10 sheet of paper. It's a little bit bigger than that. But it's
like a landscape size paper.
Yeah, exactly. $15 for that.
Yeah.
And that had the tour dates and everything.
Yeah.
Out of all the, like, my favorite merch thing to get, we've never actually talked about this, but
we haven't been to a concert that.
Well, I'm just saying, like, my favorite merch, like merch in general, right? My favorite stuff to get at merch is either a t-shirt, if they look cool, with the actual dates on the back, and posters, as long as the poster has the dates on it, or at least a tour poster being like, they either do show specific or tour posters. Those are my 2. If it's just like a poster, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Like Ghost was just
poster.
Their poster,
yeah. Which is sad because they could do so much fucking cool shit if they do like show posters.
I know. I wish they did.
Metallica and Mastodon do show posters, and their show posters fucking kick ass.
Yeah, and Ghost could do the same thing, like for every city or something. Yeah. I don't know.
Somebody like like Trivium for this show could have done a tour poster because I saw like the cover with like the tiger on it, and it looked badass. I would love to buy that shit in a poster form, like with the thick paper and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
But whatever, it is what it is. So seeing like this little poster for $15 and signed by the band is super awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Then you ended up getting a Khemmis shirt as well while we were back there. Yeah. And this was one of the concerts that, I mean, I feel like I've been saying this for multiple concerts, but I was like, oh, we're not going to buy anything. And then we end up liking the band, and then we're like, never mind.
Which I like doing, right? I like going in fresh.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before. I like going in fresh and not knowing what to expect and being extremely surprised.
Yeah.
And loving the band.
Yeah. I would agree.
But I also miss not knowing what the cue is of when I'm supposed to sing,
right.
what I'm supposed to sing.
Right.
Like when you're just standing there and the whole crowd just starts chanting.
Yep.
And you're like, I don't know
Yep.
what the fuck to do here.
Yeah. I feel like I don't even know what concert it was that we went to, but maybe it was Iron Maiden, but like they start chanting something and I couldn't even understand what they were chanting. And I was like, so I just stood silently because I was just, it might not have been Iron Maiden.
There was some of that in Iron Maiden
Yeah.
too. And I'm the same way where it's like, I like Iron Maiden, but I'm not a super, super deep fan. And I know all the song type things, right?
Right. Like I knew, sorry, now we're getting back to Iron Maiden, but like I know a couple of songs, but I don't know the lyrics well enough to be like singing along with all these fans around, because if I say something wrong, then they're gonna be like, why the fuck are you here?
Yeah, even though they can't hear shit you're saying.
I know. I always feel like the person in front of me can though.
Oh.
Because like sometimes I can hear you. Sometimes. Yeah, depending on how loud the music is.
But then that goes into like once it's over and we've fell deeply in love with this music and this crowd and just the energy, then we go buy our merch. It's like, okay, yes, this is a band I want to represent and show.
Yeah.
So if I knew that going in, maybe it'd be easier. And then you're sure to get the thing. Same thing with like the album and the poster, right? It's like, I'm not going to come in fresh and buy this shit hoping I like it. I'm going to wait till I like it. Then I'm going back. But if you have a very limited number, then it's gone because there's so many other people that came in knowing they love this shit.
Right.
So then I was like, it's like a FOMO thing. It's like, oh, well, now I missed out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I go back and forth. I love both aspects of coming in fresh and just being like, these guys are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like I think we've talked about with Wage War. You like Wage War a lot. I think their live performance is so much better than their album. I'm not the biggest fan of their albums. I think it feels softer to me.
Yeah.
Their performance though kicks my teeth in. I love their performance, their energy, all of that. I could see them all day, every day type
That's
thing.
great. We're seeing them in a couple months.
But listening to their music,
yeah.
not so much. I'll find something else.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. So have you listened to Whitechapel, like on Spotify?
I have not yet.
Okay.
No.
I would be curious if you think it's as heavy as the concert.
Okay.
So just because you say Wage War, you don't necessarily go with their music because of that, but I think it is personally. But
just as heavy.
Yep.
No, I'll give it a shot for sure.
I mean, sorry, Whitechapel doesn't have as much melodic parts as like Wage War does, though. So maybe that'll.
So we are recording this the day after the concert, right?
Yeah.
And I spent the first part of the day, listening to Between the Buried and Me, which I fucking loved. We'll get into that too.
Yeah, we can go into it.
But yeah, I mean, so I didn't check out Whitechapel because Whitechapel was the star of the night for you.
Oh yeah.
Where they stole the show for you.
Yeah.
Between the Buried and Me, they stole the show for me.
Well, one of us is right and one of us is wrong.
I know. I'm sorry you're always wrong, but it is what it is. So yeah, I spent the day listening to Between the Buried and Me. I fucking loved these guys. However, when they first came out and just fucking growled and screamed into the mic, I was a little disappointed. I was like, fuck, are you kidding me? Another death metal, deathcore, doom metal, whatever you want to fucking call it. Another one of these bands. Like the other two bands, they both killed it, and like everything about these bands I loved. Don't get me wrong. But all three back to back to back, I was like, I want some diversity. I want to experience something new. Even though this is new and different, the sound isn't drastically new or different. I want so much more diversity in my music, especially at a concert. Which then got me thinking about individual shows versus festivals. Festivals, there is so much diversity, right? Individual shows, should there be that much diversity or not, right? Like, if you go to see X, should the openers be a similar style to X to build up to it? Or should that headliner be introducing you or trying to introduce you into different music? Avatar is a great example of this, where we went to their first world tour, and they had 68, which is quite different than their music, but still definitely a hard rock sound to it. Then you get Dance with the Dead, which is EDM. And then you get Devin Townsend's acoustic set.
Fuck Devin.
You hate that so much. And then you get Avatar. Like, all four of those bands are so different from each other. At least those performances were. But is that really what I want in a show? Or do I want something that is just boom, 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 all alike? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where I was at the beginning of that first song they came out to. But then it changed quite quickly. And then I realized, oh, this is more progressive metal. And I'm into that. I like this. And from that point on, I latched on and I just fucking didn't let go. I loved it so much.
Well, I am not that much of a fan of bands that bring in a slower, not as heavy sound, if that's what we're going to see. I'd rather have everything be heavy and the same. I think we talked about this with Lamb of God, where Baroness came in, and I was like, how can you go from, what was it?
Suicide Silence.
Suicide Silence to Baroness to Kill Switch Engage, and then Lamb of God. I don't feel like Baroness is heavy, personally.
So, yeah, and I've listened to a lot more Baroness. Again, another band that I'm super big on right now. When they came out, they sounded very heavy to me. They definitely had that like growl and that.
There was no growl.
There was some growl to it. The thing I think you don't like is the.
So there was a female?
Yes, also that. You hate females. The thing I don't think you like is with progressive metal, there's a lot more instrumental aspects to it.
I think you're hitting it on the head there. I'm not into, if you're going to have instrumentals, I want drops. I want beat. I want like you're going and you know it's going to be like a headbanger afterwards, not a
there is that. There's that like that composition of the music of, you don't have the hard like we're going up, and then that drop, and then boom, like bang your head, right? Like you don't have that. It's we're going up, and we drop a little bit, and then we're going up, and like that steady, like. So I get that, but fuck, I love that shit so much. It's I agree with you. I like when the drop comes, let's fucking kick some teeth in and have some fun.
Yeah.
But there was so much going on to all these songs, and like the lead singer, we were talking earlier about range and vocals and how two vocals can give you so much. Like you can have the melodic and then you can have the deep growl. I felt like this singer for the Between the Buried and Me had that range, and he could just do it all himself. And then he's back there on the fucking keyboards playing keyboards too, right? Like the one thing I will say is the guy on stage, the guitar player on stage, left. Did just kind of stand there and just play his guitar.
Yeah. Well, then the bassist was behind him.
You really couldn't see the bassist.
And well, where we were standing, we couldn't see the bassist. So the bassist was behind him and played the bass and another keyboard.
Yep.
So at first I was like, why is the bassist just standing back there? And then I realized that there was another keyboard.
So their stage presence wasn't the greatest.
No.
I'll give you that.
The singer moved.
The singer did move,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
But everybody else was just sort of, it definitely gave that orchestratic or classical music feel of, I have my part, I have my notes, I need to hit my notes at the right tone. Like, I don't want to say professionalism, but there's like that, I have my part, I need to hit my part perfectly type atmosphere to it.
Yeah.
Versus Lamb of God definitely seems more, and let's not even compare it to Lamb of God, Whitechapel and Khemmis, right? More of, if we fuck up, we fuck up, but we're just going to keep going and have a good time and fuck it, whatever. Just, you're human, you fuck up, get on to the next thing, let's go, put it behind you.
Yeah.
Where this was, I can't do that. I have to hit my mark.
Yeah. I wasn't really into their music, and I probably won't listen to it except for when you play their record, like you were earlier. But oh no, you're playing Baroness.
Yeah. But I did listen to it earlier.
You did listen to it. Okay. I was like, I heard it earlier. But I honestly, like, even though the singer had, or the vocalist had a growl, I did not like his growl.
Okay.
It was squealy to me.
Okay.
And then I think I don't even know, it was like the 34th song. I believe it was the singer for Whitechapel comes out.
See, I didn't miss that. I did not see that at all.
You said that you never saw, or you didn't see that. But I believe that's who it is. And if it wasn't, sorry. But it came out for just like, kind of like what Wage War and 3 Days Grace and stuff did, but like came out just for like a short part of the chorus and then like went back or whatever. But that growl was so much better than the squealy growl.
Okay.
In my mind. This is my own opinion. And I think that's what was really turning me off with the music is his sing growl. I'll say that. Like where he was like trying to sing but also growling. And I didn't care for it. I don't care for the instrumentals as much of what they did. I also didn't think it was heavy compared to Khemmis and then Whitechapel and then knowing Trivium was coming out. I didn't feel like it fit and I just wasn't into it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could see all of that, but at the same time, like, no, to me it was awesome. I
know. We can have different opinions.
By all means, if it's not something you like, Wage War is not like something I'm deeply a fan of, and I know like they're one of your favorite bands right now. And for me, it's like, really? This? I'm not saying it's bad, right? I'm not saying it's bad. It is good, but at the same time, it's not my thing. I want to listen to. And this Baroness, Mastodon, Opeth.
I'm not into any of those.
I think that's where I'm gravitating towards this year in particular. Yeah. Like all of that shit, I fucking love. Yeah. And it's, I don't know, it's hitting a sweet spot for me personally. And I'm glad to see it. Like I said, first came on stage, I was like, fuck, we're not getting into diversity in music. Even though we are, right? It's new music. They all sound different. They all don't sound exactly the same. It's not fucking cookie cutter pop shit, right?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Like, but there's so much similarities between them, especially for the live show, like I was saying, where it's like, And they're all so fucking good.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's like, all right, give me something a little different. And this was that something that was a little different. And when it first came out, I was like, fuck, I want that little different, please. And then after 30 seconds, it was, oh, this is that little different. Fuck, this is awesome. Between the Buried and Me stole the show for me. Like, they were what I wanted the most. At the end of the night, that's what I'm listening to, I think, more than any of these bands, even Trivium.
That's fine. I mean, we're able to have different opinions of music and different thought processes, and don't have to listen to the same thing.
100%. But now when we're driving the car, that's what we're listening to.
Well, good thing I have to skip on my
on your
on my wheel. I don't know how to use it, but I'll figure it out. I won't watch the traffic. I'll make sure I'm skipping the music.
Yeah,
no, I mean, honestly, like, maybe I just need to listen to it more, and then maybe, because I mean, there are some, like, even who did we see earlier, Asking Alexandria or something. Like, I didn't really like them in concert, but now listening to our playlist, I'm like, I could listen to this. I could get into this. So maybe it's one of those things I just need to listen to it more.
And I think that's a good example, right? Because I think at concert, they seemed very soft and emo-y.
Yeah.
Album style.
It's better.
It's yes. They're the reverse to me, where it's like your live performance isn't that good.
Right.
Your album's much better than your live performance.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe I just need to listen to it more and
maybe
see. Like, I guess also I had a thought going in, because if you look at their merch, so that's the first thing that I saw was their merch, because I didn't know who they were either. And they had like a gray tie-dye shirt, a blue shirt, I think, a purple shirt, and it just wasn't metally to me. So I think I even had like a idea going in that I'm like, I don't know what this is. But
yeah, and that's right, because after they got done, as soon as they got done, the curtain dropped for Trivium.
Yep.
And we're like, well, let's go to the bathroom real quick again. And I wanted to check out their merch because I love them and I wanted to get a shirt. But agreed, when we walked up there and saw their merch, they had that gray, I don't want to say tie-dye, but it was kind of tie-dye, but also smoky. Like, think of...
I guess, yeah.
Think of the beginning of Dark Knight, where it was the Batman logo coming out of that blue, like, fiery, like, look. It was that sort of background look with gray, blue, or purple.
Yep.
And some other bullshit on the shirt. And I remember seeing that too, and I was like, no, I'm not into this. I love going to Dead and Company shows. It's so much fun. But there's so much tie-dye, and I hate tie-dye.
Yeah.
And I wore a Mastodon shirt last time we went and got a compliment at
Of course you did.
Dead and Company.
Of course you did. You always get a compliment when you wear Mastodon.
So, but no, I'm not into this tie-dye like look. So we didn't get a shirt because I did not agree. I agreed with you. I did not like their merch, their shirt designs and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, curtain dropped. Trivium's coming on stage.
Yep.
We
moved back to the other side of the stage. We were on stage right then.
We did. We've done that a lot lately, where we hop around between left and right.
Yeah.
Stage right, stage
left. I
left.
like it. Honestly, I like doing that because I like to see different aspects. We saw Whitechapel on the right side, stage right. Is that right?
Yes, stage right.
Yeah. So,
Whitechapel stage, Khemmis and or is Khemmis stage left?
We're on stage left.
So we went Khemmis stage left, Whitechapel stage right, Between the Buried and Me stage right, and then back to stage left for Trivium.
Yep. So, so we moved back to the other side, which is cool. Like I said, I like to see different aspects and not just stand in the same, which we used to be. This is our spot. We're not moving. This is where we're going to see the concert.
Yeah. We definitely used to do that, and a part of me thinks sometimes we will do that again. It really depends on who the band is.
Yeah.
If Trivium the headliner. It was one of those bands where if we were the last people on the floor, I wouldn't be disappointed. If it was Disturbed, Slipknot, Metallica, Avatar, we're getting there early to get as close as we can, and we're not fucking moving.
I mean, we were pretty close, though.
We were. But at the same time, it's like, we're not buying drinks. We're not going to the bathroom.
Right. I see what you're saying. Like, we're just staying in one
We're
spot.
getting our spot, and we're doing everything we can throughout the day to make sure we don't have to move from our spot.
Yeah, I get it.
Because we want to see the performance from that spot.
Yep.
Versus this. And even before this, right? Like, we used to stand in one spot, like, had that same mentality, even though we could gladly like move back and forth. But now we're actually just moving back and forth, and we're not like trying to force our way up front, right?
Oh no, yeah.
We're finding holes and we're filling the holes.
Yep. Yeah. If somebody leaves, we kind of like even. I mean, we'll get to it, but like during Trivium, 2 guys go to.
Bears just started because the fireworks are going off.
Oh.
Go ahead.
But during Trivium, like the 2 guys in front of us go to get in the pit, and actually I see one of them crowd surfing later. But so we just kind of fill those holes in, and we just like kind of keep moving forward that way. We're not the people who are like, oh well, I waited and got a drink after the concert started, and now I need to stand in the front.
But my son's up front. I need to get to my son.
Yeah, you don't have a fucking son.
No, yeah.
We've been at 2 concerts now that they've done that.
Yeah. All that to say, like, curtain drops, we go to try to look at the merch that turns out we don't want. And then make our way back to our spot. Yeah, made our way back. We stopped. That's when we stopped at the sound booth we talked a little bit about earlier.
Oh, right.
Taking a look at those.
I forgot that we did that before we went up for Trivium.
Yep. And then made our way up, talked to a fan again, give him compliments to Ghost shirts worn by people. I'm not going to name names. She even had like tattoos.
She did. She's
like super fucking into Ghost, which is awesome. Good for you.
Yeah.
Like Ghost, great band. Good for you for putting the things you love on your skin. Like, good for you for doing that.
Yeah. Because I was like trying to think how that went together, but she asked if we went to Peoria, which we didn't.
What show that was? And it's like, no, it was this show. And it's like, oh, was that show too?
Yeah.
And it's like,
And then we mentioned that we went to Green Bay and not Peoria. So, anyways, that's a couple episodes back.
And then, like you said, we made our way to a hole, found our spot, and curtain still dropped. You can see a little bit behind the curtain. Yeah,
it didn't quite stretch the whole stage. So I'm sure every concert has that where you can kind of see through the side.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, 100%. And they were doing sound check and lighting check.
Yes.
Lighting check was fun, maybe.
Had some PTSD vibes from interpreters.
Yes. So the lights were... There were some floodlights behind that looked shot straight out, and they're the ones that like went up and down constantly.
Yep. But when they tested them, they didn't go up and down. They were just straight.
They did go up and down. There were a lot that did a lot of different things.
Oh, I guess the one that was shining right on us just.
I think they kept testing that a lot, right?
Straight out.
But then there were the ones that went like up and down also. But like, long story short, we got blasted in the eyes a lot with this light beam. Yep.
So I had really, at that moment when that was happening, I was like, this is gonna fucking suck. Like, I don't want to deal with a concert again where you can't even look at the stage because the lights are so bright, because that's how the interpreters were. And I kind of got upset at that moment of being like, I don't want to deal with this again.
I did too. Like, it was, are you shitting me? Like, I'm going to get fucking blinded by your just shitty lights and I can't watch the show.
Yeah.
And I thought, like, we're going to go to the back and just stand in the back.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, I am not going to, like, I'll stand off to the side so I can hear them, or stand somewhere where we're not so close and not getting, like, shot in the eyes every 5 seconds.
The other thing is, we've seen Trivium before. And it's like, how different is this going to be?
Yeah.
Like, fuck this. Like, we've seen this before. Like, this isn't going to be a unique experience.
But I love... The one thing that I like about Trivium concerts is I don't even know the vocalist's name, the singer's name.
Matt.
Matt? Okay. But I love his energy and his interaction with the crowd. So I like to be close enough to see that happening. So if I had to go stand in the back because the lights would have pissed me off.
No, agreed. He's a really good front man. He really is.
Yeah.
Front person. He really is a good front person.
Yeah.
He's been shaving his head lately. I think the first time we saw him, he had like hair.
Oh, did he?
I think so.
Oh.
But he's been shaving his head lately.
Because with Lamb of God, he had a shaved head.
He did. Yep.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he's even got like a Twitch stream, I think.
Oh, does he?
I think so. He like does gaming and shit.
We just like talked about Twitch. We might need to check that out. The one, the vocalist that did Whitechapel, streams on Twitch a lot.
Does he really?
She.
Oh,
the
cover,
yeah,
like not the cover, but the lady who did,
yeah.
That's
why I thought it was a subscription thing.
But at this,
Anyways.
But at the same time, like, I would have been disappointed if we had to move back to. But I figured, fuck it, let's give it a few songs, see what happens. Maybe it's gonna balance out. And also, it's like, I was supposed to see them a week ago with Iron Maiden. We were supposed to see them. And we didn't get to see them because they weren't there at that show. And now we find, like, I was so excited to see them there and then see them again a week later.
I wanted to, so the thing I was excited about was to see them as an opener. Because obviously openers, or like as an opener, like your set's different, your vibe's a little different. So to see them as an opener and then see them as a headliner a week later, that's what I was really excited about.
Agreed. Like, we've talked about that before, of seeing a band as an opener versus a headliner. And we talked about this with Lamb of God, where we saw them twice this year as an opener and once as a headliner.
Yep.
I did not see much of a difference between their set.
It was almost the same. There was a couple different songs, but their performance is the same. The length was the length was a little bit different because they added a couple few songs because it's a little bit longer. But they only played for like an hour and 15 minutes, whereas headliners normally play for an hour and 40 to 2 hours.
Which is an hour and a half to right. So you brought up a good point where it's like, get to see them within a week of each other and really, really have that vivid memory of what they were as an opener versus a headliner or vice versa, which we didn't get to do. So I was a little disappointed in that. The very first time we had ever seen Trivium was actually at a headlining show. I wanted to go because I heard the song Strife.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about this.
I love Strife. Like, that song is so fucking awesome. And then you go into Heartache, In Waves. Like, there's so many. Like, those are the three, I think, big songs for me anyway. So I was big on Trivium. And I bought tickets to their concert because Avatar, your favorite band at the time, was opening for them.
Yep.
And it's like, here's a present, a just cuz present. And you're like, why am I going to see Trivium?
Yeah, we were like walking down the street downtown because we both worked downtown at the time. And you like hand me these tickets and I'm just like, thanks. Like, who's Trivium?
Because you didn't know Avatar was opening.
I think I even said, like, who's this? What is this? But yeah, I didn't know Avatar. I mean, that was 2016, 17?
No, it would have been 17, 18.
Oh, really?
Probably 18.
Okay. So I was into a lot of music then. I'm surprised I didn't know who Trivium was.
It was at the very beginning of our journey.
Recognize the name or something. Yeah.
But that show was awesome.
I don't remember Trivium at all at that show.
The one thing I remember, and we'll get to it, is Get on Your Knees.
At House of Blues,
they did that? They did it at the House of Blues, yep.
See, I must have blocked everything out of my mind, and after I saw Avatar, I was like...
You're done. That was a great show, and I loved their performance ever since that show.
That'd be so fun to see them at House of Blues, because it is very small and intimate.
So that was the same thing I thought about with this venue, and as we walked out of Trivium, we're jumping ahead a bit.
Yeah.
But we left at the very last song because you were tired and
Well, you said let's go to the back, and I was like, I'm fine, but you needed to use the restroom.
Yeah, I did have to go to the restroom, but at the same time, you're like, I can't keep my eyes open, and it's pissing me off.
I mean, that's
like you were just physically tired.
That started with the light. I think that's where it started. So,
oh, was it?
I think where it started was the lights were shining so bright that I was closing my eyes. Well, then my body was like, you're closing your eyes.
It's bedtime.
You should be sleeping. I mean, it was probably 10 o'clock by this point because they went on late.
They did go on late. It seemed very late for them to go on.
Because the concert started at 7 and there's 4 bands.
Yep.
So I don't think they went on until 10.
It was 9 that they went on, I think.
It was after 9.
Was it?
Yeah, because the, whatchamacallits, what was their name? Between the Buried and Me got over after 9 o'clock. It was like 9:30 when they got done.
Yeah, you're right. 10 o'clock is when Trivium went on.
Yeah.
Which is really, really late. Typically, it's 9:30. The headliner goes on.
Yeah, generally like 9 or 9:30, and then they play for an hour and a half. So it's like 11 o'clock when they're done. But anyways, we had a long weekend. My body never caught up, but I think closing my eyes then made me tired. And then I was literally like, while Trivium was playing, like just standing there with my eyes closed. I was so tired. But anyways.
Yeah, and also going to the bathroom, so walking out. But at the same time, like as we're walking back as they're playing, right? The crowd wasn't even packed up to the beginning of the sound booth.
So many people left.
Either they left or they didn't sell tickets, and the crowd congested in.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Because I was like, I know that there was a way more people during like Whitechapel and stuff.
But you had plenty of breathing room, right?
Yeah, I think you're right that everybody was like closer to the stage.
Because it always happens. The curtain drops, and you go from where you're standing to 10 feet in front of you.
We did. I mean, we moved, so.
So it was kind of weird to see that. And then a part of me is like, House of Blues, you don't get that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, is the capacity at House of Blues so much less than this place?
So this said, on the venue, it says that you can have like 3,000 to 5,000 or something.
See, that seems like a lot for House of Blues.
It does, yeah. I don't know what House of Blues holds.
I really like House of Blues. I'm not gonna lie. That's one of my favorite venues in the city.
Yeah, I like it too.
But it is extremely small.
So House of Blues accommodates 1,800 guests.
Yeah, this is like double to triple.
Yep. Which, I mean, if you think about it, because I'm sure that the 3,000 to 5,000 depends on if they open up like those other bars and everything like that. I mean, it was open, but like if people are huddling or standing over there, plus, there was a whole nother half of the venue that had nobody in it when we left, or like when we walked to the back.
Yeah.
We didn't leave before the end of the concert, but before we walked to the back.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, we got on a few tangents there. I can't remember where we were at.
I'm tired. I'm an old lady. I can't stay up.
But that was like that was a tangent to a tangent. Like we jumped around. Let's just start at the beginning and then again. Curtain drops. Turns out the lights aren't that actual fucking bad.
Right.
Like it was just light testing sucked standing there.
Yep.
Like I got blinded. My fear was I'd get a migraine.
Oh, yes.
This happened a few times where like a flash, and all of a sudden like my eye, and now I have a migraine in my right. I get a migraine and my night is ruined from that.
Yeah.
So that's always a fear with me during like light testing and even concerts as a whole of like all of a sudden just boom, I have a migraine. I don't want that. Because then what am I going to do? I'm going to sit in my seat or go home? Like,
sit in your seat?
Bullshit.
Sit by the wall?
No, I'll sit where I'm standing, cross-legged, Indian-legged, or whatever we're going to call it. I do remember thinking to myself and eventually tapping on your shoulder. I looked this up Between the Buried and Me. I don't know why I can't ever remember that name. I want to say Between the Buried and Between Me. Something like
Between Me?
I get the Between and the Buried
Between
flip-flopped.
the Buried and Me. We'll get it.
But I do love them. I'm going to listen to a lot more of them and eventually learn your name. Sorry.
They're not listening. Don't worry.
But looking up either that or Whitechapel, looking up the tour dates for this show.
Oh, okay.
We're pretty early on the tour. We're like the 6th show, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, I remember this. Okay.
So we're like the 6th show or something. We're pretty fucking early on the show. Every goddamn time we see Trivium, it's the same banter. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
You guys are pretty fucking awesome. But you want to know what the best show so far this tour has been? And just pick a show from somewhere in the past.
It would be funny if they picked a city that they hadn't even been to.
That's why I was showing it to you. One of the reasons. Also, so that's the thing. Do you know what's been the best show? And then he picks a city. Matt will pick a city. And it was this city at this show. Their crowd was the best. And you know what he's doing. He's getting applause. He's getting getting the crowd into it. He's energizing the crowd. Like, you guys can do better than this. You guys can tear this place apart. I know you can. You just need that little bit of motivation. That's all he's doing. I understand that. I get it.
Yeah.
But it's the same fucking thing every time. And it was fun to be like, I turned to you and I showed you the list. And I'm like, what do you think he's going to pick? What city is he going to choose as the best one other than Chicago? And I think I picked Cincinnati.
No, you picked Madison.
Madison, yes. I picked Madison.
Which makes sense because Madison would be kind of like it's close enough that it's like
Wisconsin is Green Bay. Chicago's the Bears. You have that rivalry. Yeah. It's Midwest versus Midwest. Yeah. And you picked what?
Calgary. I picked Calgary because it's a cool name.
It is a cool name. It's a fucking awesome name. Let's not lie. And comes out there, and I don't think you understood what I was doing at first.
No, I didn't.
And then he comes out and does that whole bit, and then he says Calgary, and I still don't think you understood what was going on.
No, I did.
2 seconds into it, and then you're like, wait, no, now I get it.
Yeah.
And you turn around and start hitting me like, I fucking won,
I didn't hit you. I went like this. I went like that.
I thought you tapped me on the shoulder.
No. I went like this, like.
Yeah, I'm number one. Like, hit me in the shoulder. Like, I'm one asshole. I
didn't mean number one. I was just meaning like I got it.
But like it's one of those things like, it's coming. You know he's gonna do it.
But then I was focusing every time he said the city because he says it like after like every song or before every song or whatever. But I was focusing because I'm like, is he always going to say Calgary?
He did.
Like, he did. But I was like, is it just some random city that they're picking out? Or was the crowd really fucking awesome? Which maybe.
I felt like our crowd was pretty fucking awesome.
Our crowd was, yeah. He said we were tied with Calgary at the end.
And yes, at the end. So once again, we've talked about this too, about seeing a band multiple times. This would be a cool one. Maybe not start to finish, but also maybe start to finish someday. And see if it's consistent.
Like everything's the same.
Whereas if it's always Calgary, or then like, Chicago knocked you off, let's go there.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what he said when we were in Milwaukee. Or where do we see them?
We saw them in Peoria.
Peoria.
Yeah, just to see if it follows through. Like if Chicago became the best tonight, the next show is Chicago, then Chicago, then Chicago, then nope, now you're the best type thing, right?
Yeah.
Or if it really is playing up to the crowd of you're the best, you're not the best. Oh, okay, here's the other thing. You're right. He did bring that up during every show or after every song also of here was the best, here was da-da-da.
Like this song brings it out. He said it like twice or 3 times.
This is the type of banter and crowd interaction I don't like.
Yeah.
Of just like coming out, like I like it once or twice. After every song, not so much. And then you have to tell me what the song is. Like I don't like that as much. Like come out, do your banter, you're the best city, you're not the best city. And I get it also because that is what they're doing. Like, you keep building it up, that just keeps energizing the crowd. That's that cyclical thing that we talked about. I just don't like that as much as coming out, do that, do nothing, a couple songs, then come out. Hey, we all suffer from depression. Cool, let's work on, like, don't be afraid, it's okay. Play a song, play a couple songs, come out, like, you guys fucking kicked ass, but you're not quite there yet, right? So, like, this type of banter I wasn't the biggest fan of. And to me, it was a little bit of a distractor or dissatisfier. Very little dissatisfier, for sure. That was one other thing you brought up earlier, and I didn't know when to bring that. You brought up him coming out every song saying, you guys are just a little bit better.
Okay, yeah.
So that was what I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
But you also brought up the Peoria thing, right? Peoria to me was really weird because this was the Megadeth, Lamb of God, Trivium, and In Flames tour, who did a tour the year before all together. Mm-hmm. And we're also at Linefest, Iowa. And I remember seeing, and we'll talk about this during the Linefest episode because this pissed me off so fucking much.
Actually, not Fest.
Whatever. It pissed
we call it Linefest.
One of the things that pissed me off so much is Trivium was like, this was one of the greatest shows we have ever played.
Yeah, that was.
And they did an Instagram post. And yes, it was one of the greatest shows you ever played. We were at that show and we were not a part of that fucking show.
Yeah.
And like, it was so frustrating to me. And at Peoria, they're like, do you know what was the best show of this tour? And that's where it was like, this tour is the extension of that tour. So clearly Iowa, but he didn't mention Iowa. That might be where he mentioned like Cincinnati or something.
Yeah, I thought it was like Philadelphia or something. I don't know.
But it's like, how do you post on Instagram that like Iowa Linefest was the greatest show ever for us as a band? Thank you so much. And then come back to Peoria and be like, some other random ass to me, because it was the exact same show, or tour, but it kind of also wasn't the same tour.
I don't know how that all worked out,
but like, I remember him doing it at the very first show. I remember him doing it at Linefest. I think I do. We didn't see it. We may have heard it. Line, hence the name. And I definitely remember it during Peoria, and I remember it during this show as well, right? I think it's a fun thing that they do. Don't get me wrong. I do enjoy that a lot. It's so much fun. And like I said, it's a cyclical thing. It energizes the crowd. It energizes them. It just makes the whole experience so much better. I do enjoy that a lot. I do.
Yeah, I think it does have crowd interaction. And one thing you brought up was that you don't like when bands say what song they're going to play. Where I guess in my mind, one, for your fans, it gets them hyped up already to hear this song. And then two, you always have somebody who's never heard your music.
That's fair.
And they might not know, but then if you say like, oh, this is, I don't know, In Waves or whatever. Sorry, I don't know very many Trivium songs. The names of their songs I don't know. Their sound I know.
As soon as it comes on like 4 seconds in, you're like, oh, this is that song.
Yeah. I just don't know the names of their songs. But anyways, like we can use like Disturbed as an example. Like if you say like Stupefy or something, like then the fans are like super excited that they're going to hear this. But then also the people who have never heard it are like, oh, I liked when they played Stupefy. Let me go check that out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you get both sides of it. But then also you have bands like recently we saw Lamb of God, and they only do it for like 2 songs. Because he does it for 512. Is it 512?
502, like when I was in a gated community over in Europe.
Yep. Like when I had an extended stay in a gated community.
Yep.
So he does it for that, and then he always does it for Ruin. I noticed.
Yeah.
The last 2 concerts that we've been to, he does it for Ruin.
Huh.
Like he does it like a little banter thing, and then we saw them 3 times. Lamb of God 3 times this year.
This year we did, yeah.
Yeah. But he did it all 3 times. Like this time he did it something special because I think for Suicide Silence somebody just passed away. So he was like, oh, we're going to dedicate this song.
Yep.
But it was always Ruin. And then he always does it for 512.
Yeah.
So you have the band that doesn't do it for every song, which Disturbed doesn't either, I guess. And then you have kind of like with Trivium. I don't know how many times they did. I didn't really recognize it.
It almost seems like every song they came out and did a little bit of crowd banter, and then
we're gonna play this.
And here's the next song, which we've talked about with fresh new opening bands, right? Where this now gives the band time to go and tune their guitars and stuff.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say during what was the first one? Sorry. Khemmis. He was even doing like the banter and tuning it as he went. I don't know if you noticed that. Yeah. I thought that was pretty good that he could talk and tune his guitar. Anyways.
But continue. Same thing. Like maybe it's an old habit that they just keep doing and they've always done. All I'm saying is like if I had to pick a negative of the night, that was the one negative, and it's a very very small negative, right?
Yeah. I don't have any negatives from Trivium except for my own body wanting to shut down and lay on the floor and go to sleep.
Yeah, all I'm saying is like if there's any negative, the only negative is the banter. Not the banter, the amount.
Yeah.
Matt is fucking awesome at getting up there and getting the crowd into it and how he interacts with the crowd. That's awesome. There's nothing negative there.
Yeah.
The amount of it is all I'm saying is if there's something to say that's I don't like this as much, that's the one thing.
Yeah. I would rather have this banter with the crowd or this engagement. I'm going to call it engagement with the crowd over like Dave Mustaine, who says like a little story and then is like, but here's a song that I'm going to play.
I guess, but I also enjoy the little like.
Did you like his?
I like the
story?
Background, like behind the music aspects. I don't know, right?
I wasn't into like his little story thing that he says, but
like I don't know, like it's all there for a purpose.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say don't do that because no, it's there for a reason.
Yeah.
What that reason is, I don't know.
Right.
Maybe a band's off doing a line of blow real quick. And like
who knows?
We need to do this for the next who gives a shit?
Please say a 2-minute story so I can go do something.
Right. And it's like I need to take a shit. So I'm like, hey, go out there and milk it, please. Like this is gonna be a big one. Like whatever it is, I don't know. And once again, that goes to the behind the scenes things we don't know because we don't experience it. And like I said, if there's a negative, not saying there has to be a negative, but if there is one, that's the only thing I can think of. Otherwise, a perfect, beautiful, amazing evening all around. Yeah. All the bands fucking kicked ass. Trivium fucking kicked ass. One thing I don't think we've brought up yet is, we did bring it up. We didn't get to see them with Iron Maiden.
Right.
And we really, really wanted to.
Yeah.
The set design here and the set design for the first 3 tracks of Iron Maiden goes fucking good together.
I didn't even think about that.
Like Trivium's newest album, The House of the Dragons, I think that's the name of it.
Yeah.
At least
the Court
of the Dragons is the song, right? Not The House. That's fucking that shitty ass book by that shitty ass writer who can't finish his books.
Any hoodles.
He's not that bad of a writer. He's a good writer. George R.R. Martin and I was gonna say Lord of the Rings, but that's not right. That's not right at all.
Thrones?
Game of Thrones, yes.
Okay.
The Thrones.
The Thrones? That throne
The
show?
last fucking 3 seasons that shit sucked because he didn't finish his goddamn books.
Any hoodles.
No, the set design, like they had the little dragon emblems, like statues, and then they had the dragon lights behind them, their banner.
Yeah.
And the only thing I can think of is like, you know what would be really awesome?
To see that and then see.
No. If Iron Maiden let them use the temples and the walkways.
Yeah.
Like
instead of their little thing that they had.
They have all of that. They have their shit and Iron Maiden's like set design, like all together.
Yeah.
It's like it goes hand in hand, and I wish we would have been able to see them, not only because, like you said, as a non-headliner and then a headliner, but now let's see the set designs. Let's see And I've always thought this too. Younger bands don't necessarily have the money to buy lights or pyro.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Do the headliners then let them use their lights and their pyro as part of the show? Like, go ahead, go have at it.
I doubt it.
The lights maybe, pyro
Maybe.
not so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Because once again, you're not going to lug around 4 sets of lights.
That's true.
That just add to your expenses.
Yeah.
So like their set design, their set presence could have been so much better with Iron Maiden. I wish we would have seen them with Iron Maiden.
I know. So I like their banner a lot. Or is it called a banner? Their backdrop? Yeah. Because depending on what light was shining up on it, it changed colors. I don't know if you noticed.
It had so much characteristics. Yeah.
Like it was basically, I don't even know what the actual color of the background was. I thought it was yellow, but I think that might be different. But then it was like dragons coming in, and I think like people fighting dragons.
I think it's like the album cover.
Oh, is it the album cover?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So,
but once again, like you had the different colors and how a light pans on that color, it becomes a different shade of yellow or something.
Yeah, or it becomes darker and everything. And I thought that was really cool. That I'm like, oh, you have one banner, but depending on what light is shining, is what it look or how it's going with the song or how it looks for the song and stuff. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. What were your thoughts? Even though we did not see them a week before as an opener, we have seen them as an opener. Yeah. What have your thoughts been, or this is all over the place, sorry. It's kind of a shitty question. Knowing your past experience with them, seeing them both as an opener and as a headliner, what did you expect from this show? And did it, like, do you think they added enough difference between a headlining show and a opening show?
Yeah, so for me, I guess the difference really from a headlining show to a opening show for the bands that we've seen in this aspect recently is more just obviously set design is big because you have a larger set, which they did have. They had the props and stuff or like the dragons and everything. Maybe a little bit more would have been nice, but like you said, if they just came off of Iron Maiden, maybe they were utilizing some of their stuff. I don't know what was. I mean, we didn't get to see them, so I don't know. But other than that, like it's just the longer set, so it's like playing songs. So when we saw Trivium with Lamb of God, I felt like I knew more of the songs because they're not playing. Maybe they weren't playing the new album songs. I don't know with Lamb of God. But it's like I expect for just a longer set, obviously, which we were just saying like Lamb of God really didn't have much of a longer set when we saw them as a headliner. But for Trivium, like I was just expecting to hear a lot more songs that maybe I'm not familiar with because they're not on my everyday. Well, I don't listen to Trivium every day, but like not on the playlist that I listen to. So what were you expecting?
I honestly expected the exact same show as normal. We've seen them a few times. I feel like the vibe is very similar to how they open, to how they headline. Like if they're openers or headliners, you're getting the same show regardless. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? Like if I go to see a band, I want them to give it their all, regardless of if they're like, I don't want them to be butthurt or like pissed off that like, are you shitting me? I have to be an opener for this asshole?
Yeah.
Like, I want them to, like, don't give two fucking shits about that.
Like, you're performing. You're doing...
I'm here for the fans. I'm here to play the music I love to play. Yeah. I wrote the music because I fucking love it. And Lamb of God's the same way. I don't feel like they're... Which is weird, right? I don't feel like Lamb of God's headlining show was a headlining act. However... the performance and the energy they gave was the same you would get anytime you ever see them.
100%. I agree.
Which I kind of enjoy more, right? I want a band who's going to be consistent and going to kick my teeth in every goddamn time, regardless of where they're at. If they're on the goddamn street corner just playing for the fun of it, right? Like music in the park presents Lamb
Lamb
of
of
God.
God.
I want to get my fucking teeth
Can we
kicked.
go, please?
Yes, by just some like these guys in the park playing, right? They're gonna bring it their all every goddamn time, and I love that. Like, it speaks volumes to the band that takes their ego out of it. But as a fan, when I go to go see your headliner, I do want that something special, right? And I think you really hit the nail on the head. There's two things that make that. It's the set design. I felt like the set design for Trivium, they brought extra shit that they typically wouldn't bring to their opening show. Yeah. They had those two little statues. They're little tiny ass fucking statues and lights. It's not much, but it's something extra that you typically don't get because you can't bring that shit with you. But then I think you also, the key thing, the deep cuts, the songs you don't typically get to hear. Because when you're an opener, you get 20, 40 minutes, depending on your slot, to play your music.
Yep.
And what are you playing? You're playing your biggest hits, your biggest things.
Because people aren't, people could be there to see you, but people aren't there generally, they aren't there to see you. They're there to see the headliner.
Yes.
So.
And then it's you have 20 minutes to convince them that you are awesome.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, you are awesome. If you're not awesome, you're not going to be on that fucking stage.
Right.
And if you're not on that stage, doesn't mean you're not awesome. You're just not there yet. Right. Or, I don't know. So there's that aspect as well. And I think that also made me think of, once again, our playlist. I went through today and added all of the songs.
No, you added Trivium. A lot.
I expected to add 2 at most.
Oh, really?
There were 2 songs on the entire set list that were from their previous show.
Really?
In Waves and one other.
So it's not actually In Waves. It's Capsize something.
No. In Waves.
Capsizing the Sea. The last song?
No. In Waves was the last song. It's not on the playlist because it previously was.
Oh, I got it.
And there was one other one.
I got it. I thought it was In Waves too, but then when I saw that, I was like, no, what the song is? Okay. No. Anyways, sorry.
There was that and one other one, The Heart That You Hate.
The Heart From Your Hate.
The Heart From Your Hate. Yes. Fuck. We're going to cut this out. The Heart From Your Hate was a song we added that I had expected to already be there.
From there. So when we saw them with Lamb of God, I was disappointed because that's
they didn't play that.
That's that's the song that got me into Trivium.
Oh, really?
Yes, it is.
Strife is mine. Strife
really?
Is my
Yeah. So it was on one of. So I don't know if you remember when I used to go walk the lake or whatever, and I would always listen to a certain metal playlist, and it was always the 4th song on that metal playlist, and so I got into it. And then they played it at Line Fest, but then they didn't play it at Lamb of God.
Yep.
Or sorry, I guess it was Megadeth. I keep saying
Megadeth, Lamb of God co-headliner.
Yes, yeah. So they didn't play it there, and so I was disappointed. But then I was like, oh, well, they're opening. They only got 30 minutes, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
They can't play everything. So when they played it, I actually woke up during that. So I was like, when I was feeling so tired, that song, I was like, oh, I had some energy. But yeah, anyways.
The one song they didn't play that I really wanted them to is Master of Puppets.
Right, you said that.
They covered that, and it's given the state of metal, and that's a weird thing to say, given the state of Metallica and goddamn Stranger Things, Master of Puppets is now chic. So fucking anybody who did a cover of it is gonna play that shit.
Possibly there was a jump cut there, and if you want to listen to what Brian just said, we'll link the video. Because I'll probably cut it out.
Yeah, or audio or whatever, but
I don't know. We'll do something out. We'll do something. Or we'll just leave it. I don't know. Anyways.
Anywho, we added all but 2 tracks from Trivium to...
But that's awesome.
No, that's amazing.
We heard so many new tracks.
I was not expecting that. I expected to add 2. We added all but 2.
Yes.
And same.
Most concerts are opposite, where if we've already heard them, we add maybe 1 or 2 or 3.
Same thing like we talked about with Lamb of God. It's the same fucking energy. Yep. No matter how... they don't give a shit if they're opening, closing, door greeters at goddamn Walmart.
Sure.
They're going to kick your fucking teeth in. They're going to have a great time. You're going to have a great time.
Yep.
Like, that to me is fucking awesome. Don't be the shitheads who get pissed off because you don't get the headlining slot. You're there to entertain. And that's the shitty thing to tell a band. Like, your job is to make me happy. It's
but
not.
It is. Please make
me
happy.
But it isn't, right? Like, it's...
No, I'm just joking.
You're there to make me happy. I'm there to make you happy.
Yeah.
It's that whole cyclical, ecosystem here that we have. And they fucking did it. They brought their energy. Trivium did. They brought their energy. They brought their sound. They brought amazing openers with them. The venue, first time there, fucking awesome venue. Like,
I can't wait to go back. I mean, I know we're going back in like a week, but this is a venue. I mean, this will be a venue that we check out more.
Everything of this night was perfect. Everything negative is a goddamn nitpick.
Yeah.
I asked for my cheeseburger with no onions, and they brought it out with a single onion on it. All in all, fucking amazing night. Live music is strong. Metal is strong. Fucking go see a live show. Big, small, whatever it is, go fucking check out some music. You're going to have a blast.
Yeah, we've had a good mix the last couple of weeks of huge, let's start small. So, going to small venues, seeing, with 100 people. And then we've seen huge headliners like Iron Maiden, Trivium at a moderate sized venue. Saw Megadeth and Five Finger at an open air venue. We've had a really, really good mix, and it's been a great couple weeks. But
yeah, it's been awesome.
And check out these smaller shows. I mean, I'm saying smaller shows, but I mean, this was $35. So
it was smaller compared to United, but they're smaller that we need to go check out.
There are. Yes. I'm just saying for price wise. I mean, if you, it's not like we're going to a lot of shows, but we're not always seeing $100 shows.
You don't need to spend $100 to have an amazing night of live music.
Right.
So go check out some live music. Make sure you you spay and neuter your parents, and hope to see you out there someday.
Not your parents, yourself.
Or yourself while you do it. Here's my mom and dad.
The parents already did it. So
no, they may not have.
I'm not saying whatever. They already have children. You just need to stop the whole children thing.
All right. Might cut a lot of that shit out. We hope to see you guys out there someday. Enjoy your live music. We'll see you around.
Bye.